Previously, Haruto was recommended by the king to the Magic Academy, and because he couldn't reject the royal family, he had to enroll. Haruto wanted to live a quiet shut-in life, so he planned to use his clone in the academy to get kicked out because his clone couldn't use magic, but while Haruto was planning to get kicked out, his biological mother told Laius, his second son, to gather information from Haruto about the Black Knight, but then, aside from her, while Haruto was strolling around the capital, he ran into Iris Philia, who seemed odd to Charlotte for some reason, so Haruto decided to avoid her. So on another day, Haruto's clone told him there was a proficiency test that he had to take. So Haruto thought it might be his one and only chance to get a sucking score and be kicked out of the academy. There, teacher Polkos leads him to the exam hall and gives him the question sheet. All the questions there were already those questions which Haruto doesn't even know, so it worked out for him naturally, but not to raise any suspicion. He noticed some questions on barrier magic and ancient magic, and because he knew about those categories, Haruto accidentally answered all of them fluently, so that exam was done. And now it was magic assessment test. Polkos took him to another teacher who would take that exam, but the teacher there was Tirietta, nicknamed the Shrimp. She researches ancient magic and she warned Haruto not to piss her off or she would kick him out, but lady, that's what Haruto wants. She had a heart attack when Haruto said that. But Polkos gave her Haruto's answer sheet to check, and suddenly she became very serious about taking Haruto's magic assessment test herself. Haruto puts his hand on the glass ball, but Haruto broke it off into pieces. Haruto thought Tia would be angry and kick him out for breaking that ball. But it was the opposite, and she got impressed that Haruto possessed such high-level magic that Crystal Ball couldn't even handle. But Polkos told Tia that Haruto only had level 2 magic power, but Tia didn't buy it because Haruto's answer in the test were too advanced. He didn't answer basic question but aced in ancient and barrier magic, so Tia called dibs on Haruto to take him under her wings, but Haruto gave a hard pass on that one and left Tia. He told his clone about this and prepared him to attend classes. Haruto gave him a gun just in case someone tried to pick a fight with him. Then the clone runs out instantly when classes ended and saw a pretty boy and knew it would lead to trouble, but the guy, Schneider, stopped Iris Philia because she didn't pay her respect to him. Iris Philia was new in the academy like Haruto, so she didn't know the reason. Haruto wanted to run away, but Schneider told him to explain to Iris Philia why she should salute him. He didn't know himself, so he acted like he needed to take his dump, but Schneider didn't buy it and fired a fire spell at Haruto. But that had no effect on him because Haruto had casted a barrier on his clone, so Schneider goes for another shot and clone used a gun on him and ran out as fast as he could. That sure was a hectic experience for his day one, so Haruto sent his clone for some rest, but then he got a letter for a duel request from that idiot Schneider, but after that girl left, Haruto saw Iris Philia was discussing something with her. After that she went to that Schneider's establishment to apologize because she thought she was the reason Haruto got into this mess. Iris Philia apologized to him, but that Schneider told Iris Philia to dance naked to apologize. Iris Philia didn't resist and began to strip down her clothes, and Haruto was watching all this. And just as she dropped her clothes, the lights went out and Haruto appeared as a Black Knight. He scolded her and told her to leave. As for Schneider, Haruto puts a medal on Schindler as a punishment for all his sins, and if he tries to take it out or use magic it will get tighter every time. It was a perfect punishment for an idiot like him. But the next day, Haruto had become a fan favorite of teachers for beating up that Scorpion Schneider. Haruto wanted to make a bad impression, but it turned out the opposite, so he wanted to run away. But then Tia stopped him midway to make him join her research lab, but their Laius showed up and they had a brother's welcome. After him even Marianne gets there to meet Haruto. There Marianne heard their conversation and told Haruto to join her research lab instead of that shrimp, but Tia didn't back down, so the three of them started arguing. Then they left the decision on Haruto as to which research group Haruto would join, but their Iris Philia showed up to talk with Haruto. Haruto saw this as a chance to bail out of this madness and run away with her, so Marianne held Laius' neck because Haruto ran off with another girl. But she was mistaken. Iris Philia wanted to talk with Haruto because she asked Haruto if he's the Black Knight who saved her, so he creates a barrier and Iris Philia senses that she was an extraordinary person and could sense the flow of mana from Haruto. Haruto recalls that Flay was the same and could sense his mana, so Haruto asked Iris if she's a demon as well. But looking at her form she didn't seem like one. So Haruto chose not to give the answer she asked before. Iris didn't pry any further and requested Haruto to become her friend. Haruto had no problem, but that request was really random. So Iris told him that his parents abandoned her while she was a child, and after that she was abandoned 4 times, so she ended up at a monastery. But she still had a hard time talking to people, and because of that she never had a friend. But it was the same for Haruto, so they become friends. There Haruto asked which lab she was joining, and Iris wanted to join Tia's lab, so Haruto decided to join the same one since they are friends now. Iris got happy hearing this, and her smile made Haruto nervous, and then, suddenly Charlotte got a tingling feeling and runs out to get to Haruto. But Flay and Liza were having their own time in the bath. There Liza asked Flay whom she served before Haruto, so Flay told Liza that she was at the Demon Lord's side serving him with utmost loyalty. Demon Lord dreamt to make a paradise where everyone can coexist, so Flay thinks Demon Lord lost to the Gizelot on purpose and got reborn as Haruto. Flay thinks Demon Lord lost his life to be reborn as a human to put an end to this long war, but Flay remembers Demon Lord's name was Iris. Then the scene shifts to Haruto and Iris. Haruto brought her to his room, but Charlotte was already there waiting for him. She thought Haruto made a girlfriend, but Haruto clears out her misunderstanding. There they fills out the paper to join Tia's lab. But with that, our 2 episode comes to an end, but stay tuned to watch last 2 episode of this anime. But till then, take care.